Sometimes I feel like I should just kind of really slide right in. How are you?
I mean, we could just add everything that we just talked about.
I don't feel like that anybody's listening to the show anymore. You know, I think the COVID has stolen our audience. I want a T-shirt that says the COVID has stolen our audience. The COVID.
The COVID?
The coven. The coven. The COVID has stolen our audience.
I'm sure a coven would steal our audience.
Well, I mean, I feel like, and I've checked with some other podcast producers that I know, and everybody's podcast numbers are down. No one's listening to podcasts. And it really kind of makes me mad. But then I think, well, you know, I haven't been listening to podcasts as much now.
Yeah.
But I don't listen to podcasts the same way other people do. Most people say they listen to it in their car, like going to work.
Yep.
Or going on the road if they're driving on the road or whatever.
Yep.
And I listen to it like while I'm working, because I'm an artist, and so in my studio I'll put it on. So I listened to some this week. I listened to Mark Maron, WTF, interviewing Jim Carrey, which was a really good interview.
Nice.
Do that if you can.
Okay.
Trying to catch up on some of my Maron shows. What's my other one? Fun Employment Radio. I'm trying to catch up on that. I missed a few. That's the one that I still listen to a lot of. But been trying to catch up on that. And some other ones I actually subscribe to. So a few new ones, which I haven't had a chance to listen much to. The Office Ladies. That's a new podcast with Jenna Fisher. And, why can't I think of her name? I almost said it.
The girl who played Angela.
Yeah. Kinsey. Angela Kinsey. Is that her name? I'm pretty sure something like that. Anyway, so that podcast is all about behind the scenes stuff about The Office. And they should know because they were on it. So I don't know. I'm just trying to catch up on it. And sometimes, you know, I usually try to listen to our podcast, but I don't always get to listen to our podcast.
I rarely listen to our podcast.
I know.
Oftentimes it's because I've embarrassed myself.
Well, that's kind of true.
I don't want to relive it.
But I listen to it, and I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's a good podcast. I feel like it's better than some of the others I've heard.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, not just like our content, because sometimes our content is crap.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we have some interesting points to make, and we do that as often as we can. But just at listenability, I think we're better than a lot of them.
And drinkability.
Yes.
The drinkability of our podcast
is
so
high.
Much higher than other people.
Yes, I agree. So we're going to do that now.
Our live beer review. If you're new to the podcast, hi, welcome to this epic disaster.
Thanks for listening.
Every podcast we drink a beer. And then it's a beer we've never had on the show before, and most of the time we've never had in our live.
Yeah.
And then we'll tell you at the end of the podcast what we think about it. So we're drinking it live beer review. See,
that's how that works.
Yeah. And then we give you an honest review.
So today we're going to be drinking Mike's Pastry.
It sounds like it's going to be good.
By Harpoon Brewing, and it's a stout. It's a cannoli stout.
It's
a stout brewed with lactose, cocoa nibs, vanilla, cannoli shells.
Cannoli's
and
like the
other natural flavors.
Italian dessert, right? The little tubey
it's
tube
a little
thing.
tube of pastry, super thin pastry. That's
very
deep
dark.
fried.
Look at that. It's
and
like
it's
the
normally,
color of leather.
It's normally
juice.
made with ricotta.
They should
cheese.
call it leather juice. Oh, look at this! Look! Oh, got a head going up. This is very. It's like
said?
coffee.
No.
A coffee kind of. It reminds me a little bit of Guinness. Guinness
pretty.
head. The head on Guinness is white. That's what I always think funny about Guinness is that the beer is dark, but the head is white. And it's one of the few that's like that.
Yeah, which is different. This is different because the head here is the same. It's kind of cocoa colored. Yeah.
All right.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
I know. Well, this looks like a Coke, actually.
It does. Let's try it.
Smells like what I would think Stout's going to smell like.
Oh, it's sweet.
Like a pastry?
Like a cannoli.
Mike's Pastry? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to drink it. I'm waiting for the head to go down a little bit.
I think Faber would like this one, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I do. It is Mike's Pastry, after all. I mean, come on. If Mike likes pastry.
Oh, wow. It reminds me of some of those Christmas beers we've had.
Yeah.
Oh, this is kind of good.
It's yummy. It's already sweet. It tastes... I mean, I'm looking for the cannoli flavor.
Yeah.
I definitely get the cocoa nibs for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't get the creaminess of the lactose, because when you brew something with lactose, it adds creaminess, like a mouth feel.
Well, you might toward the end of the podcast. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. We'll let you know at the end.
How's your week? What's going on in Yourville?
My week is the same as last week and the week before and the week before that and even the week before that. I did have something that I'm going to get into here in a little bit.
Okay.
And it's a discussion I think needs to be had, especially in corporate America right now, in this climate and this environment where most people are still working remotely, or just working remotely in general. I mean, some companies, some of our clients for the company I work for have decided that they're never going back to the office for any real, like they've decided that they work fine remotely. They're going to downsize their office accommodations, and they will use their office accommodations for things like conferences.
It's funny you should say that. I've decided I'm downsizing the podcast. It's just going to be mine from now on, solo podcast, and you won't be needed anymore.
Okay, bye.
Why don't you say screw me? It's your podcast too.
Yeah, fuck you. No, it's my podcast too. I'm here.
Get to make the decisions.
You don't get to make all the decisions. Sometimes I make you make the decisions, which you don't like, but do it. Damn it.
This week has been interesting for me. My mother-in-law is still living with us. You remember, if you listened to the podcast earlier, we went and picked her up and brought her here because my wife's family suddenly had an outbreak of the COVID. 3 people in the family got it.
Yeah.
And fortunately, they all recovered. One actually got kind of serious and had to go to the hospital.
Oh, no.
But that person is now better.
Good.
And everybody's up and running around again. And so about another week more here, and mother-in-law goes back to Minnesota.
Now, I know the ride up to get her and bring her back was pretty whirlwind. It was like 40 hours of driving in 4 days, if that.
Yes.
Are you planning your return trip to be like to return mom to her place? Are you planning that to be as whirlwind, or are you going to take it a little more?
No,
easy?
she's going to take it a little lighter. I'm not going. I'm staying here. I have some things to do. Potential jobs happening. And plus, we have a Zoom that's going to happen in a couple weeks.
That's right, because Mama's about to be 46 years old.
Your birthday comes up. You're on the top side of the 40s now. You're leaving your 40s behind.
I'm officially mid to late 40s. Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. It's all downhill after that. No, I don't know. I think 50s are okay. My biggest gripe about 50s is weight loss.
It's harder. The older you get, the harder it is.
Weight loss, it used to, if I stood on a scale and had too much weight, I was just like, oh, okay, well, I just won't eat for a week, or I'll cut back or something. And then,
that's healthy.
The pounds just drop off.
Yeah.
And I can literally starve myself and won't lose anything.
It's not likely that works. Because
crazy.
You also used to walk 3 miles a day.
No, that was a long time ago. The last time I walked regularly 3 miles a day was like right before you came to live with me. I was just like, I'm going to have someone to live with me. I don't want to be a fatty. So I got out and walked every day for 3 miles to try to lose weight. And I did lose weight. But I used to have a thing where I fasted every Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting back into that. So I'm doing intermittent fasting, which actually works really well for my body. And it's what they call 16-8, which means you don't eat for 16 and you ate for 8.
You eat for 8.
Yeah, you 16 hours of the day you don't eat, and then 8 hours you can eat.
What are your 8 hours?
12 to 8.
So noon to 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm. So no breakfast, basically, or breakfast starting at noon.
Yeah.
And it's not as bad as I thought.
It's really not.
And the 8 o'clock has been the most difficult, because sometimes my wife doesn't get home till 7:30, and she likes to make the dinner, or she does make the dinner, and so by the time it's made, sometimes it's too late. So I'm having to make my own dinner. She's trying to do it too a little bit, but she hasn't been able to. I think her hours are not.
Well, she has to get up much earlier than you start your day, so it's harder. But I know many people that use intermittent fasting, and they swear to it. Also, a common diet plan, if you will, is intermittent fasting with a low-carb diet.
Yeah.
And that is what from what I hear. Now, I have yet to do it myself, but from what I hear, it's probably the best plan to get down to where you want to be, and then you can, stabilize your diet. But intermittent fasting, low carb, go for it.
I like the intermittent fasting, and then I'm going to go back and add my Tuesday fasting. So I'll do intermittent fasting all the time, and then every Tuesday I will fast.
So you'll stop at 8 p.m. on Monday, and you won't eat again until noon on Wednesday.
Something like that.
I think you could do it.
No, or just don't, like 8 o'clock at night on Monday. My meal stop.
Right.
All day Tuesday, nothing, and then I won't eat again until noon the next day.
That's what I said.
Yes, and so that's a lot of hours not eating. So for me, it's hard psychologically more than physically. You're obviously a little bit hungry, but it's not like you're going to never have food again. You know you're going to eat at some point.
Right.
But just not just sticking something in your mouth. I mean, it's very difficult. There's you learn that a lot of eating is habitual.
Yes.
You're just walking around, you see a bag of potato chips, and you stick them in your mouth.
Yeah.
And not even thinking about it. And then if you're fasting, you're like, oh crap, I just screwed up my fast.
And you know what? I do that most here. Like at home, I can look at food and not put it in my face.
Yeah.
When I come to your house, you got all the good nummies. You got like bread, and you have chips, and you have stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, put that in my face.
Well, and it makes it more difficult. So, but I will do that at some point. I'm not doing it right now. I'm not a big exercise person, but I do need to exercise more. I want to do more yoga and things like that. But yeah. So that's sort of my thing, and I definitely feel better. I haven't lost. I'm certainly not a significant amount of weight doing it. Only been doing it for about 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
So I might have lost a pound or two, but my body feels better when I'm doing it.
Well, that's good.
So
you're not as heavy or as full.
Right.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you eat like 9:30 or 10 at night and then immediately go to bed.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
It's not good.
So stopping at 8 gives time to kind of digest a little bit. But that's happening. I'm doing that. I've been
Here's something I want you to consider. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I had a friend who was pre-diabetic, and he was put on a diet so that he wouldn't have to be insulin dependent. This was years and years and years ago, and he went on what was basically a South Beach diet, which is a form of a low-carb diet. But at one point, his doctor had him on his last meal of the day could consist of only fruit. So if you just eat fruit at the last meal of the day, I wonder if you would benefit from that.
I was going to do a fruit the first meal of the day.
Because the fruit is the fiber.
Yeah. I do feel like that even like having like 1 day out of the week doing nothing but fruit. But I have also been thinking, I said something about fasting Tuesday. I have been thinking about doing a Tuesday fast, except noon to 1, eat anything I want. Noon to 1. I have an hour to eat. Because how much can you eat? I mean,
a lot.
But I mean, you have a sandwich, you have a meal, so you're not just completely starving, but you had an hour worth of food. And they say that when you're doing that, like 500 calories on your fast days is acceptable. So you're probably not going to go over that.
But if I were to do that, I would stick with things like vegetable juices and, super clean foods for that hour. Rather than, I'm not going to go wolf down a hamburger for an hour on my fast day. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was thinking. So I'm going to experiment and try it. I feel good, so that's the important thing. I might have lost a little bit. I'm not sure, but I kind of feel like I might have.
Well, good for you. I'm glad that you're finding
I got a long time to work with it, so we'll see what happens. And then, so when my wife takes my mother-in-law back, I will have some time, basically a week, to kind of just do whatever I want by myself. Be a bachelor again. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
What are you gonna do? A show. We're gonna do our. You were talking about turning 50. We're gonna do our Zoom.
Yes. Not 50, 46. Stop it.
Well, I swore you said 50.
I said 46.
But we will do a Zoom. We'll talk to people about the specific dates on that, and that'll be kind of fun. And then doing our shows, and then I don't know. I get to eat whatever I want when my wife's gone. I can make my own food. Impossible burgers every night.
Oh, nice. That's expensive, though. They'll get expensive.
Yeah.
So okay. So something happened this week, and it made me think. I was multitasking at work, and as you know, I'm working from home, and so is the rest of my company. And so we're communicating almost exclusively over IM.
Okay.
We use a product called Jabber, which is a Cisco product. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with it. And, I'm chatting away, and my job is I'm a supervisor, so I am answering a lot of questions during the day while I'm also trying to do my duties as well.
Typical questions would be?
Just, technical questions like, have you ever seen this error before? What does this mean? How do I do this?
Okay.
Those kinds of things.
Okay. You're an IT person.
Yes, I'm an IT person. And, or, who should I go to for this, like those kinds of questions as well. Like I'm also trying to have to herd people in different directions, and you'll want to talk to so-and-so about this, and that ticket should go over there. And,
right.
those
but you're not getting guys calling up going, what are you wearing?
Only from a couple.
Okay.
And I like them. But anyways, so I'm doing this. I'm multitasking. I'm probably in conversations for 3 different issues with 3 different people.
Oh, okay.
While still trying to do my reports that I'm trying to get out.
Okay.
And something got lost in communication, and it was a technician asked me about something and called it one thing, but it was another thing, and he even sent it to me. So if I had looked at it properly, I would have known it was the other thing and not what he called it. But I'm in such a hurry. I'm like, I'm not sure. Let me ask so-and-so. So I am this other person, and I send them exactly what this technician sent me. And I'm like, can we do this? You know, is this okay if we use this? It was a certain credentials.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking one thing, I'm thinking it's a local kind of credential, and he's thinking it's a local credential. And I'm saying, I'm using the word local, but it's not. And I'm even sending it. I'm typing it out. Oh, my God. Anyways, so the guy's like, yeah, sure, you know, if you need to, and then just change it. So I go back to the technician, and I'm like, so, yeah, go ahead and use that. And then here's how you change it on the local machine when you're done. Okay, nope, you know, and I move on to the next thing. He comes back to me, and he's like, hey, that worked great. I was able to get on the machine. I was able to do what I needed to do. But now I'm trying to change it, and it's telling me I have to do it this way. And I went, oh, fuck. Wah, wah. Suddenly, it clicks. That's because it's not what I thought it was. So instantly raise my hand, you know, and we get it taken care of. The point I want to talk about, though, is there seem to be a lot of miscommunications when you're completely dealing over IM rather than in person.
Okay, so no visuals, no pictures. You can't see somebody's face.
Right. So, so we do have our meetings every day where we see each other's faces, me and my management team. And I see my technicians' faces once a month when I have my team meeting. And I see them another time once a month when we have our one-on-ones. Okay? But for basic communication during the workday, it's all over IM, which is just typing. There's no tone. There's no, you know, nothing. We don't use memes.
Okay.
We don't, you know, it's just typing.
Okay.
And there's a lot lost in that medium of connection with people. You don't have somebody's full attention, and you can't, like, I'm a big, at work, I'm always a big get up and go talk to somebody kind of person. Like, I want you to look at me when I'm talking to you so that I know that you are listening to me and that I have your attention. I'm also one of those people that I've got 5 people standing around my desk asking me questions, and I'm looking at somebody and they're talking to me, and I will stop them and I will say, I'm so sorry. I'm staring at you, but I'm not listening to what you're saying. Please start over, you know, because I need to know what they're saying, and I will literally just zone out. And people laugh at me, but I want to know what they're saying. I don't want to just give them an answer just based on the second half of what they tell me. And that's not an option over IM. You know, I don't know that this person is listening to me. I don't know that this person is giving me their full attention. And I'm not doing it either. So, you know, in talking about that, I'd like to know what people think. And, you know, what are some good ideas about, like, how to make sure, like, in the back half of all of this, you know, somebody said to me, they're like, you were multitasking, and I said yes, and they said, well, multitasking is a great way to screw up a bunch of things at once, which is true.
So when you say multitasking, you were doing the IMs, and then you were doing something else while you were doing that.
I was IMing several people about several different issues, trying to put my brain power into why wasn't that printer work, and, you know, also, like, why can't you get on this person's machine, and then why can't this person access their files? And I'm also trying to pull my reports and look over those as well.
Okay.
That's not a good idea.
But sometimes you have to, though.
I have to all the time. That's my job. It's what I do. And shit gets lost.
Yeah.
Shit gets missed. And in this instance, it was a big deal.
Did you get fired?
No.
Oh, should have gotten fired.
Probably.
I would have fired you.
I know you would have. But I did raise my hand immediately, and I'll say I teared up a little bit. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to lose my job. But I didn't.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. I mean, tomorrow's Monday. We'll find out. You're shaking. Why are you shaking?
Huh?
Do I scare you? Your hand is shaking. Do you always shake?
Where's it shaking?
When you were pouring your beer, your hand was shaking.
I was doing my leg like this. So.
Okay. Sorry.
I mean, sometimes I shake. Sometimes, I mean, I'm a live human being. We vibrate. Human beings vibrate.
Just don't berate me for caring about you.
I'm not berating, but sometimes I do shake and vibrate.
I shake a lot these days.
I want a T-shirt that says that.
I shake a lot these
I do
days.
too. My grandfather had some sort. I don't know what the official thing, but it wasn't Parkinson's, but it was some kind of palsy where his hand just really shook. I mean, he like this, and no one can see that, but like he was trying to shake up a martini or something.
Right,
I mean,
right.
it was really like when you couldn't read anything he wrote because it was just like scribble. It was hard to keep the hand straight. And every once in a while, I'll get a little tremble in my hand, and I think, "Oh, I'm going to get what my grandfather had."
Gosh,
so far, nothing though.
But back to this. So, have you ever had a miscommunication over IM
Yes.
or chat of
Yep.
any kind? Tell me about it.
Okay, and I might have mentioned this on maybe on this show, if not the other one. But so this happened during what I call my year of dating, when I had met a few ladies online.
Got the
And
ladies in the house.
one in particular that I was very interested in, and she's very cute, and I thought we could meet. So, but we didn't before we met. And I was living in Chattanooga at the time. I'm not going to say what city she was from, but we spent a lot of time texting back and forth, and I have never had more trouble understanding through texting than with this person. Both sides. Anytime I wrote something, it would be misunderstood, and when she would write something, I would misunderstand it. It was like a complete. We could not connect in a way of understanding at all.
There was no communication. Like you didn't get each other's humor.
Totally.
Oh, okay.
She thought that I was saying one thing when I thought she was, and it was weird, and not. There was no anger.
Right.
It was just like we completely didn't know what was going on. So, like, we're friends to this day. We became friends, and I'm married, and she's been with somebody for a long time, but we're still friends. So we communicate on Facebook, and then I guess it was not too long ago, we had a little Facebook message conversation about something, and it was the same thing. I could kind of detect this thing where she was getting my meanings wrong. And I was just like, wow, this is familiar. I remember when this happened.
Yeah.
But it was really weird. It was one of those people just like, no, I need to communicate with this person in person, not through texting.
Do you think that if you were in person with that person that you guys would mesh and you would understand each other?
I don't know. I've often wondered that.
Because
she doesn't seem, I mean, she's a smart person. She's like an executive in a company.
Right.
I mean, a manager, whatever.
Right.
So she's not dumb.
But I can kind of get the gist of somebody's humor based on how they text.
Yeah.
And normally you can.
Yeah.
Like they're either dry or they're sarcastic or, and they follow it up with like emojis and like, text speak like IKR, like I know, right? Stuff like that. And then you kind of get an idea of who they are. But if you can't understand it over text and you're sitting in the same room with that person, do you think that you'd be able to understand
Well,
it?
people bring so much to. I mean, you bring your communication style into it basically with a stranger, and you expect that stranger to somehow be able to connect with you with all of your stuff that you're bringing in.
Right.
Sometimes it works a little better in person because you can pick up body language and facial expressions and things like that.
Of course.
But you only have one thing to judge by. So I know that this particular girl I'm talking about, and I remember that she always thought I was trying to get in her pants. And I was like, that's totally not what I'm trying to do. That's not the purpose. But it was like, so I don't know if that was like her history of all the dudes in the world that she
Right.
tried to do. And I'm not saying I never would have wanted
or
to.
if she really just wanted you to get into
But
her pants.
that wasn't my mission at the very beginning.
Right.
So it just seemed like everything was filtered through these certain things. Not necessarily through that, but that was one of the things. Like my intentions were always like, I think she always was a little suspicious of when I wanted to, go out or do something or whatever. But not just that. I think she didn't always get my humor, and she's funny. I mean, she's a humorous person. She's not dry, but it just didn't connect. There was something about our individual texting style through like that kind of just words that didn't click. And it was weird, and I just went, okay, this is too much trouble. No,
it's just too much work.
Yeah,
and that's the thing with the online dating and the technical dating over technology rather than in person. Like, well, people don't go places as much as they used to, and they don't just meet random strangers and be like, hey, I'd like to take you out for a drink. I mean, that just doesn't happen anymore, at least not in my life. Doesn't happen at all.
It will.
So, yeah, but I have to go out the house for that to happen. So that's not likely to happen anytime soon. But, people meet online and they're like, oh, 5 minutes of this, I don't quite get you. I'm not laughing. I'm not happy. Bye.
Yeah.
I can't be on constantly when somebody hits me up on text. I can't just be like, oh, hey, I'm super bubbly and I'm a good person and you'll really like me. I'll be like, you know what? I'm in the middle of a show. I'm having a drink. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just a matter of how important it is with online dating. Like, if you're going to put the effort into it, which I just haven't.
So what, you want to hear some stories from people if they had that same issue?
I'd love to.
All right. So what, you want them to write to us? Do you want us to tell the story? What do you need?
I think they should write to us.
Okay.
Let us know if you want us to use your name or not. And you are welcome to send that to thisepicdisaster@gmail.com.
And then they can tell us basically any story from their past or situation that might have been totally, because I was trying to think what would be like the biggest misunderstanding. I do remember one. Also one of the dating things.
Let's hear it. Now, give an example so people know what we're looking for.
So this is, I don't know if I've talked about this. And I feel bad about this too. But, all right, so I met someone online, and you'll remember this, I know. So I met someone online, like, during, I guess, like August, July or August of that year.
Okay.
And we talked and kind of hit it off. I couldn't tell if it was somebody I found interesting. I didn't know if we would click or what. I just didn't know. But I think I remember at one point saying, you should come over and have Thanksgiving dinner at my house.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And she was like, oh, okay, well, I'll think about it. And so that was it. And never talked about it again. So things happened, and I did things. The year finished up. And then November of that year was when I met my wife. And I actually met her early November.
Right.
And so things kind of, I started realizing, oh, this is going to be somebody that I want to talk to. Then out of the blue, I got a message from this girl, and she was like, so am I still coming over for Thanksgiving dinner?
Whoops.
And I was just like, oh, well, and then I didn't know how to hurt her feelings. And in the meantime,
to not hurt her feelings.
Well, I'm not. In the meantime, you had already said you were coming over for Thanksgiving dinner, because we always have Thanksgiving together. We have like a vegetarian Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So you were coming over, and I was just like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Because I invited this person, I've met someone, and I've got someone coming over, and I was just like, okay. And I asked you, I was like, what should I do? And you were like, oh, whatever, she can come over. So I said, well, yeah, sure, you can come over, but my friend is going to be there too. And she was like, oh, okay. Who's your friend? And I said, well, actually, she's my ex-girlfriend. And so she was like, oh. I'm coming over to Thanksgiving with your ex-girlfriend. I was like, yeah, we're just friends now. And then she was like, I don't think I will.
She chose not to show
Which
up.
was a smart thing, and I don't blame her one bit. And then as it turned out, I met my wife in person like the day after Thanksgiving, 2 days after 3 days after Thanksgiving, and then I stopped dating after I met my wife. So,
which is a good idea.
She demanded it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of those kind of things that was sort of misunderstood through texting. I just threw that out. I guess I didn't even think she would come over. She certainly could have. I invited her, but it would have been easier if...
Yeah, and you even checked with me.
Yeah, it would have been easier if, like, early on she had said, I remember this Thanksgiving thing, we're going to do it, whatever. But it's like I didn't hear from her.
She just let it go.
I didn't hear from her for a long time, and then all of a sudden, boom, she's coming to Thanksgiving. So, I don't know. That was one of my kind of confusion moments.
Okay, so one thing we forgot to do is we forgot to play Would You Rather at the beginning.
Let's do some Would You Rather.
But we're going to use the
old Would You Rather.
The old Would You Rather, because the Zabmondo Would You Rather is at my house.
And we're in our actual studio
today, and I forgot to bring it.
So you don't have to drop a stone on this one. We'll just ask the freaking questions. Would you rather?
Ask a freaking question.
Ask me a question.
I
do
can't
I pick
ask
a number?
Any question.
Can I pick a number? Are they numbered?
Glasses.
No, they're all just A, B.
It's just A and B.
Is it just 1, 2, 3?
There are three
so
questions.
3. I'm going to pick 2.
Okay, so I'll ask you the second question.
Do that.
I'm not sure if I've asked you this question before
I
or
don't
not.
think I have.
You know what? This particular game of Would You Rather is really gross.
We've discovered.
Okay, so the second question on this card is: Would you rather?
Okay.
A.
I would rather A.
Notice live maggots in your Milky Way after you've eaten 2 big bites,
Ugh.
or find a few fingernails at the bottom of your Caesar salad.
I'll go with the fingernails, I guess.
Yeah, I probably would too.
I don't think I want to do either of them, but
I don't want maggots or fingernails in my food.
no. All right.
Especially
So
not prepackaged.
do you want
food.
1, 2, or 3 though?
I'll go with 3.
3. Would you A, rather marry a rich, shallow investment banker, or a poor, brilliant artist? Do you know any poor, brilliant artists by chance?
Couple. I know a couple. One in particular.
Which would you rather do? A rich, shallow investment banker.
Well, it depends on my state of mind. Because
What does shallow mean? What would that? You just don't have anything to talk about?
No, I think shallow just means like uncaring and
Yeah, because you could fuck around and you still got money.
yeah.
I would go with that one.
I am. That's the one I'm going with.
You have a great life, and
Yeah.
he doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
And he's shallow.
He's
and
doing it to me. I might as well do it to him.
He's probably got somebody on the side, and
Yeah.
you can too.
Yeah.
Maybe the poor brilliant artist on the side.
There you go.
You got the best of both worlds.
Done
That's
and
what I
done.
would do.
That's what
Sure.
I'm doing. Yep.
Okay.
I'm going with the rich man.
Another week of would you rathers. Well, you're talking about meeting someone. I have this great story here. So, a Japanese man was arrested for slashing over 1,000 women's tires as an excuse to get to know them. Now, that's desperate.
So, wait, hold on. 1,000 women.
1,000 women's tires.
Okay.
And I guess he only slashed one tire, so that's be 1,000 tires.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Did he not get the clue after the first 10?
That's a lot of tires.
That perhaps this is not a good way to meet people.
A 32-year-old man. He's from Aichi Prefecture in Japan. He was arrested for allegedly slashing women's tires just so he could follow their women and offer assistance. Oh, looked like there's something wrong with your tire there.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can I help you out?
with that?
On June 11th, an unnamed 43-year-old woman, 43, he's 32, okay, walked out of the supermarket in Higashiura, went to her car and drove away. She didn't get very far before noticing her driver's side front tire was almost completely flat. That's when a friendly man stopped from his car. Can I help you? Boy, you're cute.
Yep.
And offered to help fix it. And then she realized the same thing had happened to her just a year before.
No.
So he's like double.
Was it the same person?
Apparently.
Oh my god.
So she called the police. She said, told them what happened. They did some investigating, and then they realized who the guy was. 32-year-old Yoshito Harada. And he admitted to the crime, and he said that he only did it as an excuse to get to know the woman. And then I think it made the news. And then people realized 25 years ago, it wasn't. He was 25. It was 2013 when he was 25. The same thing was happening in the town, and they remembered the man's name was Harada.
Oh God.
The same guy, and they checked it out, and it was him.
So all those CCTVs showing him slashing people's tires, so he'd been doing it from the time he was 25 till 32.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that
times.
tell you that it's not working?
It's not working.
It's not working.
It says the saddest thing is that despite all his efforts, he was still unable to hit it off with at least one of his. What does this guy look like? I mean, he must have really been sad.
I don't know.
But that's creepy. I think if you're...
That's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and
1,000
over and
times.
over and over again and getting the same results.
But it's not
every
one of those
time.
things where someone's going to go, oh, well, it's kind of cute.
No, it's
I
not.
Slash my tires.
Oh, that's cute.
If you're slashing anything, I don't think it's a good way to meet someone.
No. I don't want to meet you if you're that comfortable with a knife. Thank you.
But yeah, I just one of those things. What was it, Jerry Seinfeld that was talking about one thing about guys that yell at women when they're passing by?
The cat calls.
Yeah, and he's just like, these are the best ideas we have.
Yeah.
We're stupid.
This
We don't
is
know.
it.
Why don't we just try yelling? Why don't we slash their tires? Maybe that'll work.
Maybe
we
that'll
might
work.
meet someone.
Maybe I can just throw things at you.
What's the weirdest way that you've met someone?
Like that somebody that wanted to meet me?
Maybe you wanted to meet them. What was the weirdest thing you had to
Oh.
do to meet them?
Oh, God.
Oh, God, do we want to know this?
Yeah, I took a job once to meet
Just
somebody.
to meet someone.
Yeah, a second job
Okay.
as a DJ. It was years and years and years and years and years ago. And I would never do it again because I wasn't any good at it.
Okay.
I mean, if I were better at it, I would do it, but I wasn't. And I took the job. I was going to the bar anyways, right?
Yeah.
Because that's where I saw the person. So I took the job and I did okay. I was a backup DJ, if you will, just basically handing records to people. That's all I did. But sometimes that person had to go to the bathroom, so I got to talk on the microphone and make a complete idiot out of myself. And yeah, good times.
You met the person?
Well, I met them.
Did you get laid?
No.
Oh, man.
No. No. It did not go well.
My weirdest thing, I think I might have mentioned this too. I went to a Halloween party in Knoxville, Tennessee when I was early 20s. Halloween party, masquerade, costume. And I went as a mime.
Ah.
Yeah. And so
That's good for conversation.
Yeah. And so I was there, big dance club, and saw this cute little Japanese girl. Oh, man. I was just like, I am dancing with her. So went up, asked her to dance. We danced several times. And so toward the end of the day, I was like, well, how can I see you again? Are you ever here? And she said, well, I come here every weekend. I'm either here or this other club. I was like, okay, good to know. So that was it. Left.
No number exchange, nothing
No,
like that.
I don't know why that didn't happen. But
Okay.
she was a student, so this is before cell phones. So I don't know if she may not even had a phone.
Yeah.
To get in touch with. So every weekend, every freaking weekend, every Friday night, every Saturday night after that, I went to both clubs. So what I do is go to one club and I would pay the admission and I would get my hand stamped. I would come in, I would walk around in a circle looking for this girl. Didn't see her. I would drive to the other club, pay the admission, get my hand stamped, walk around in a circle looking for every Friday and Saturday.
And you'd go back and forth between
Yes,
the clubs.
I would drive back and forth,
That's obsession.
2 weeks before Christmas, I'm almost done. I go to one of the clubs and
So
I
that
walk.
you're doing this from Halloween until 2 weeks before Christmas every weekend.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I go
Wow,
in.
that's stalking.
I'm walking around. Look, and there she is. I see her.
That's stalking.
I'm like, that's her. That's the girl. I go up to her. I say hi, and she just looks at me like, who
the fuck are you?
Yeah. I like, remember me? No. I remember on Halloween, I'm the clown, the mime that danced. And she, oh yeah. So we started talking, and we talked a while, and she said, well, I'm going back to Japan. I'm leaving for Christmas vacation tomorrow. I'm going to the airport. If you want to drive to the airport, you could say goodbye to me. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that.
She asked you to come to the airport and say goodbye to her?
I think it was just something to say. It was just like, I'm leaving, so you can come out and say bye. And I was like, okay. Well, I don't think she did. She ever expected it. Because
And you did.
Of course I did.
Oh my God.
I came out, and she was so surprised.
And
so,
scared, slightly.
Maybe, I guess. I don't know. But there was a little bit of communication difficulty. She didn't speak like perfect English. She could get by.
Uh-huh.
So we just kind of sat there. It was pretty awkward.
Yeah, I bet.
And but I think she was somewhat flattered, and we, said goodbye. And I said, I would like to see you when you come back. And she said, okay. And when she came back, I saw her, and we went out, and we dated for like 2, maybe 3 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
good ending.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It
But
pays off.
if I'm not mistaken, didn't that turn into a bad thing?
In the end, it did. Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
you got what you wanted.
well, I got to date her. It was fun. I had fun.
Yeah.
I mean, young love.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just it's a different situation.
It's
But
kind of creepy though.
no,
Yeah.
and we're still, I guess, we're friends. I mean, kind of.
You're
We don't
connected in
communicate
some way.
that much,
Yeah.
but every once in a while we do. Yeah, sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
She's back in Japan. She's been in Japan for years.
I think if I told somebody that I was headed to the airport the next day for a trip for
Uh-huh.
vacation,
You don't invite
and
me
they
if you don't want me to
showed
go.
up,
Don't invite me if you don't want me to show up.
because you will show the hell up.
Well, I was just very interested in her at the time.
Clearly.
Just cute. I want to be a part. I want to.
Stalker alert.
Yeah.
Stalker alert.
That's right.
You looked for her for
I did.
2.5 months.
Yep. Found her, went out and saw her off at her plane.
Actually, a month and a half.
So here's the
Math
other
is hard.
story. She got back. She came back. She called me and said, "I'm back in town. Do you want to get together sometime?" And I said, "Well, my friend lives in Nashville, and I was just driving out to see my friend in Nashville. Do you want to go with me and stay? I'm going to be there a couple of days." And she said, "Yeah."
She got into a car with you.
We
and
drove to Nashville. I
Nashville?
picked her up. We drove to Nashville.
That's like a 6-hour drive.
Not from Knoxville. It's 2.
Oh,
Yeah. So we drove.
I'm thinking from here.
We
Never mind.
drove to Nashville. Stayed with my friend for 2 or 3 days and came back.
Did you stay in the same room?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have sex?
No.
Did you do anything?
No. We kissed. That was the first time we kissed.
That's it though. But you slept in the same bed.
Yeah. I remember I got sick. I got a fever. I got sick during that.
Okay.
Man, I almost said something really, really bad. But anyway, but I ended up. I did end up having sex. She was the first person I ever had sex with.
Oh.
She broke my virginity. She broke my.
She broke you.
She broke me and broke my heart.
She broke you in and broke your heart.
That's right,
That's
baby.
how it goes. That's how it
But
goes.
I what do you expect? Young love. We were young. It was fun. I had a good time with her.
I mean, that's ambitious of you. That's I mean,
I don't regret it.
Stalker, yes,
Oh.
or ambitious.
Yeah.
However you'd want to look at it. I'm going with stalker myself.
I didn't have to slash her tires.
Nice.
All right, well, let's shut this podcast down, but let's talk about this beer. What do you think about
Yes,
beer? This
let's.
is Mike's pastries, pasties. Mike's pasties.
No, it's Mike's
Pastries.
Pastry.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
I am a fan. Which is funny because normally
I don't know what you're so surprised. You moved across the whole country to live with somebody you'd never met in person before. What are you freaking out about?
No, you're right. I did.
Yeah, that's even crazier. You couldn't have gone back home that easily.
I
and you
packed
had all
up
your
my
stuff.
cats.
Everything, your
and
life.
I gave all my shit away.
You're still in my house. Get the fuck out. What are you doing in my house?
Go away.
Get out of here.
Go away.
Oh, we broke up a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're right. I
Take a
decided
chance. You
it
gotta
was
take a
It was
chance.
my last chance at love.
I mean,
And
there
I
was
had
some
to- I had
shitty
to
stuff that
try.
happened. It turned out she was not the most faithful person in the world, but what the hell? I mean, she didn't promise me that she was going to be.
Forever and ever.
No.
You weren't married.
No, she didn't chase me. I chased her. So, but we had fun. We went on spring break together. We went on vacations together. She stayed at my house. We had a good time. I liked her. She was just fun, silly. Just what do you expect at that age?
Yeah.
We
yeah.
went to concerts together and just had a good time.
Yeah. You're right, though. That is kind of like everybody I tell my story that I left Alaska.
They think you're crazy.
They're like, what the hell?
Yeah, but
what were you thinking?
But it changed your life. I mean, where you are right now is indirectly because of that choice.
Yes, and I think it's a better place.
I do too. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but it's like every choice that you make, somehow there's some consequences for
And
it.
I have you as a friend.
Yeah,
So we're good.
and other people.
And other people. And your wife is my friend.
All right, let's talk about the beer.
All right, let's do it. So we are having Mike's Pastry by Harpoon Brewing.
All right, Mike.
Hi, Mike. It's a cannoli stout. I think Mike Faber would like this.
You said that already.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that might be true. I think you're saying that because he always comes over here at Christmas and we have Christmas beers, and this tastes.
And he likes Christmas beers.
This tastes a little Christmassy, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a stout brewed with lactose, cocoa nibs, vanilla, cannoli shells, and other natural flavors.
I
Whatever
always
those
wanted
are,
a girl
don't
with
know.
cocoa nibs. Huh?
I have cocoa. No, I don't.
God, let's not go there.
I just pinched my own nipple.
I don't know why you did that.
So Harpoon Brewing.
My own cannoli. Oh man!
Wow, Harpoon Brewing is out of Boston, Massachusetts, and
really? We've had a few of their beers.
and Windsor, Vermont, and they are employee owned, which is awesome.
Nice.
So yeah, it says love beer, love life, which we do.
Okay.
7.3% alcohol. What do you think?
It's a little buzzy. I'm in the middle.
Stuck in the middle with you.
I don't like the 0.25s. I don't like the quarters.
I know.
know that the whole or the half, but I'm in
know.
the quarter here,
Where you at?
and I'm gonna go less instead of more.
Okay. Less is more.
So I would give it a 4,
Nice.
and I want to give it a 4.25.
Not quite a 4.5.
Right, and that was the thing. It's just like I don't think it's a 4.5, but it's definitely a 4. I feel like it's a little better than a 4 for me. But yeah, it's very sweet. It's very dessert. It's definitely a Christmas kind of beer. I like it. Very tasty.
I would only have one.
Yeah, it's rich.
Like,
it is
and,
rich.
and it is in a pint can, so 1 pint of this is probably enough.
Totally, and alcohol content as well. 7 something. I mean,
7.3,
you're gonna feel it.
I mean, I have nothing against that.
No, so
Don't
what
get me wrong.
your number would be?
I'm. You know what?
What
Just
the heck?
because I am who I am,
Are you really who
I'm
you
gonna
are?
give it a 4.25.
You're bucking the system.
I buck the system.
Jax is not gonna like that.
No,
all right,
not at all.
I am. I'm writing these down now.
Good for you. Do
I
you
mean-
remember when? Like, do you have
No.
the name of the beer or which podcast
I will.
it is?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little form. I have to update everything that we've done so far.
I mean, Jax has the Excel spreadsheet.
Well,
And
I
he
mean,
sent it
I
to
need
us.
up until episode 92.
Which means you need to go back a ways.
I know. I don't want to ask him, but
Just use the same Excel spreadsheet on your own and fill it in.
no, I'm gonna get like this. So as we're doing it, I can write it down.
Oh, I see. You're gonna make yourself.
Yeah, and then I can go back and I can put it all in. But it's good to know. But 4.25, it is good. It's very tasty.
It's really good.
There's a Christmas
yummy.
beer that we have that's similar to this, but on the exhale, it's got a little bitter exhale. It almost tastes like the can. It's got a metallic kind of can taste, and I like the beer, but that little bitty exhale kind of like always gets me, and this doesn't have that.
This doesn't have it at all.
So it's got the good taste without the little
And
tinny.
like I said at the beginning of the podcast, when I took my first drink, I couldn't feel the lactose in my mouth.
Right.
I can now.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
but not as much. It's not. It's not.
It's not
a thick
overwhelming.
Beer.
No, not at all.
And just. It's just barely sweet, or barely over sweet. I don't like things too sweet. It might be one step more sweet than I generally would like, but for that kind of a beer, that's good. I'm still giving it a 4.
Yeah. Now, if I were to have 2 of them, I would go down in my rating because it would just be too much. Which is why you don't have 2. You just have 1 and call it day.
I don't know why I'm going to say this. I just remembered it. It just came into my head. We're talking about drinking, and I was talking about that girl, the Japanese girl that I met. We went to one of my friend's house and had margaritas all night. Now, she was a big drinker. Big,
but
heavy
you
drinker.
weren't.
No, not at all. I rarely drank anything. Well, we went to my friend's house, and we had margaritas, lots and lots of margaritas. And then they put a cot for us in the middle of the living room, and we both slept in the cot. In the middle of the night, she got up and arfed all over the floor. And I didn't. She puked, and I did not.
I thought you were going to say something fun, like in the middle of the night, I woke up and she was giving me a blowjob or something.
No, not on that trip. But she puked all over the floor. And I still remember that because I was like, yeah, I didn't puke, and she did. And she's the one that's the big drinker.
That's horrible of you.
No, I won.
Oh, my God.
I won.
I'm done with you.
Yeah.
I'm done with
Never
you.
give a Japanese girl tequila.
If you want to talk to us, you can reach us at thisepicdisaster at
Not racist.
gmail.com. Or you can hit us up on Facebook. We do have a Facebook page.
That's
it's
right.
This Epic Disaster. We also have a group on Facebook, which is the Disaster Baiters. You are welcome to be a member of this group, but you got to ask. Right. You got to ask. And another thing you got to ask for is you got to ask us for stickers because we'll send them to you.
We're in a dry spell. We don't have a lot of new people, and our old people are kind of like taking a little break from listening. So I'd love to get some stickers out. So if you're new and you would like some stickers, I might give you twice as many as you asked for.
Or if you're old.
Yeah.
Not like age-wise, but if you've been with us for a while
Yeah.
and you want to help us out just a little bit, send us your address. We'll send you like a shit ton of stickers.
Oh, yeah.
Put the stickers wherever you think people would like to listen to us hang out, if anybody is hanging out anywhere these days. Or just put them, you know what? Go to like a newspaper stand and like stick the stickers in each newspaper. That would be awesome.
Or just go walk up to people. People love stickers. Just give them to them.
Hand them a sticker.
Have a sticker.
Be like, I don't have COVID. Take
People
the
love it.
sticker,
That's
or
right.
just wear gloves. And
You know,
it's
we need a mask with our logo on it. Well, that's something we don't have.
You can put that on Redbubble.
I know we could do that.
Totally.
Speaking of Redbubble, I don't want to say this. So one of the things, and I meant to talk about this during the show, so I'm going to talk about it right now. One of the things that I've been doing this past week during quarantine, I've been really doing way too much internet shopping.
You need to stop.
So much stupid stuff on the internet. So much.
You bought a slipcover for your couch.
I know that's one of the things, but
no, that's a good idea.
A lot of stuff. I bought.
Oh my God! What'd you buy? A penis pump.
No.
Oh, what'd you buy?
I married a penis pump. Anyway, I.
Wow! I'm gonna tell her you said that.
I bought.
Totally
listen, all right. So you can't tell her.
Okay.
This.
Okay.
I bought $300 worth of clothes.
Rick.
$300.
Where are you gonna wear those clothes?
They're still in China.
Oh shit!
I didn't know they were coming for China.
Oh my God!
And then after
you'll never get them.
Well, according to the shipping thing, they're on the way. So they say that they're on the way. But since then, I've started reading like the comments from everybody says that they're crap, and I'm just like, oh no,
$300
worth of clothes that are like crap.
Look at your physique, Rick.
I know.
Tell me something about your physique that is not in common with most Chinese people.
No, I ordered the size, everything, but first of all, it was a trick. So I don't know what you'll see. You're going to see this a lot on Facebook, and I see it all the time. But it's just like, well, unfortunately, we've had to go out of business, and we're no longer going to be offering these clothes, so we're selling them at a discount.
Yeah.
And then since that time, I've noticed like 6 other companies are doing the exact same thing.
Because you buy,
and
so you get advertised at.
They're selling the exact same clothes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different name. So anyway. The clothes, and I'll update on the podcast because they should be here soon. I think they're in Chicago right now.
So they made it to the United States.
So far, they're here, yes. And then I also ordered something else that I'll talk about, which is also on the way. And everybody else has said that that's crap as well.
Oh, shit.
And then I ordered another thing. So I ordered a pet gate. And have you seen those little pet gates that like roll up? It's like a screen.
Yeah, you pull it
across the stairs.
Those are also known as child gates.
Uh-huh.
But yes.
So I ordered that because I thought that's cool. Well, after I ordered it, then I started reading, and everybody's like, it doesn't even come with the roll up thing. It's just the screen. And so it's like, and they're like, and the screen is like a really, really cheap material. So now I'm worried about it.
I would be.
But I keep doing it. I keep ordering all this.
Stop it! You're going through retail therapy, and
it's
not healthy. It's not healthy.
I'm ordering.
Stop it!
It's just like every day I go out and look and see if I have an Amazon box. I think I have one on my porch right now too. I already got one thing today, and I'm getting another thing today.
And your wife sees these packages come in.
She does it too. She orders it too.
No, I know.
She orders like shirts and stuff. But I don't think they come from China. So the reason I was going to say that is because I ordered something from Redbubble. Now, I've been on Redbubble, and all of our products from This Epic Disaster on Redbubble. Redbubble has excellent printing. I mean, their products have come in. Their printing looks so good. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, I ordered a shirt that I made, and it took over a month for them to send it to me. I was so mad. That's never happened before.
Weird.
I always get great service. And it showed up, and it was printed crooked. So I was really mad. So I had to contact Redbubble, and I was like, here's what I ordered, and here's what I got.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, we're reprinting it, so they're
Yeah.
going to send it again. And then I had another thing that I ordered, and it was also printed bad. I think this one might have come from China. And so I had
sit with China. And
I had them to do a reprint, and they've sent the reprint. So I'm willing to bet $1,000 that it's printed just as bad as the first one. I guarantee you it is,
honey.
So, but I got to stop ordering things.
Please,
I'm ordering way too much.
stop. If you've got money burning a hole in your pocket, I know a place you could spend it.
I need to be spending it for like mortgage and things. I'm
give it to me.
I'm addicted.
Just give it to me.
I'm addicted to
I got
Amazon.
bills I gotta pay. Come on.
I'm addicted to Amazon.
Stop it. Get off your fucking computer and go for a walk.
No. I gotta go home. I gotta go downstairs and see what's on sale. All right.
God.
Thanks for listening to us, everybody. Find us on Facebook. Find us on all of the other social media places. Let us know that you're out there. We're lonely. We don't have a lot of listeners right now.
Sad.
I know
so
a few
sad.
people are listening, but even if you're not listening regularly to the podcast, we would like for you to come to our Zoom, which will be coming out
in a couple weeks. Yeah.
1.5 to 2 weeks. And that was fun last time. We've done 2 of them so far, and those are fun. And we would love to have people come and hang out with us.
Please.
You don't have to talk. You just sit and listen to us.
Because we miss your faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're out.
We'll see you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.